what is your name? And then pause and then spell it.
Pat Venditte, Patvenditte.
So where do you live, and have you always lived here?
I live in Peoria, Illinois, but I have lived all over the place. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, but have lived in every portion of this country.
So what would you miss most if you had to leave Peoria tomorrow?
I would miss family and some of the local food spots.
Nice. Which ones would you miss? That's the question. So how do you earn your livelihood?
I play baseball. I've done that for the past 13 years, and hopefully we'll continue to do that once these restrictions and this pandemic hopefully we can move past it.
In 2 words or less, describe your 2020 and then explain why you chose that word.
Chaos. It has been one thing after another, and every day you wake up, you think, well, today can't be crazier than yesterday, and then something else comes up. It's just been one of those years, and hopefully as a society we can gather the strength to move past all this.
So describe the moment COVID-19 became real to you.
The moment it became real is when the NBA player tested positive. Because of my world in my job, I'm a professional athlete, so we were moving forward as if everything was going to be okay. We were taking precautions. They had brought in hand sanitizers in every portion of our clubhouse, weight rooms, and they brought in medical experts from Miami. I play for the Miami Marlins and their organization, so they were bringing up doctors from Miami to keep us updated on the virus. And this is when it was just beginning to get to the United States. It had done it had started obviously in other parts of the world, and it was moving towards us. So they were trying to stay on top of it, but we didn't think it was going to be anywhere near what it was because of the reassurance we were getting from the medical community. But at the end of the day, they didn't know that much about it. And then once the NBA player tested positive, it all became real for us because we were sent home. Our locker rooms were shut down, facilities were shut down, I would say within 72 hours.
So what kind of feelings and emotions were you having in that moment? That seems to be pretty chaotic.
It was very odd. It was almost surreal, like any of the events that we remember in our lives, horrible events like 9/11, and obviously it's not, something as quick as that because we didn't know the magnitude of it at that time, but just something where you'll never forget where you were. And in particular with me, we were in a spring training game. I don't remember what team we were playing, but we had found out right before the game had started that was going to be the last baseball game played, that spring training. So spring training was over. I had pitched the day before, so I knew that, all right, well, I've been in spring training now for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and it's not going to resume for a long time, so what's going to happen tomorrow? I remember sitting through that game thinking, this is just the weirdest thing in the world, knowing that, we were a game being played, and after this game finished, that was it for all of baseball. It was just a very odd feeling.
So how's your daily life changed at first, and then how did that impact you?
Daily life has not been altered that much for me because I live a unique situation where I train for my job and I come home and I take care of my family. I don't have a whole lot of social things that I do to where this has impeded me, if that makes sense. I've been able to continue to train with a group of guys where we've been fortunate to stay healthy, and then I come home and take care of my family. From a change perspective, the biggest thing it's done is, kind of limited the amount of times I would leave my house. I'm a little bit more cautious now to go to the store. I'm wearing a mask everywhere I go. It's just little steps I've taken that have been a little change.
Do you have any changes into your life that you plan to keep going forward that came because of COVID?
Hygiene, I would say, from a hygiene perspective, washing my hands, keeping my kids' hands clean, when they're at the playground or other things like that, just being more vigilant of the things they're touching, and, from overall health perspective, monitoring our own and make sure we're not hurting others by, spreading germs and doing things like that when we possibly could have something. I think we'll all be a little bit more vigilant about, our symptoms and what we're doing to keep others from getting them.
So what's been the biggest challenge for you throughout this pandemic?
The unknown. from a job perspective, not knowing when the job is going to continue, the unknown of, are you doing enough to keep your family healthy? Is everything okay on that end? Are you keeping your elderly family members as safe as possible through all this? There's a lot of worry that goes into all this because of all of the unknowns and because of the implications that it has from a health perspective.
We all face challenges in our lives, and there's probably definitely big challenges you faced before. How does this challenge of the pandemic compare to anything else you've done, had to go over?
It's very unique because a lot of the challenge I face, I have a say in what goes on, whether it be through my preparation, through my job, or execution in the game. This you don't have a whole lot of control over. You can do all the things that you're required to do. You can wash your hands, you can social distance. And I think people that are doing that are still getting it at certain times. So there's so much of this that is out of our control. And when things are out of your control, things are very worrisome.
How do you think your daily life's going to feel like 2 years from now?
I think what this has taught me is that you don't know what tomorrow is going to feel like. So for me, you could ask that question, where do you see yourself in 10 years? I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So I think more than anything, it's showed us the importance of living in this exact moment and making the most of each day that you have.
So in the challenge you see in your work or in your community, what excites you about solving them?
Just, as far as solving them, I don't know if anything ever gets solved, but I think with all the things that have gone on, it's given each of us a better perspective of, how we treat others and just how far that can go. And I think one day at a time, if we all work on being kind to others, I think things will start to get better with each day. And once you get better each day for a little bit at a time, that little bit turns into something a lot bigger. So like the last answer, little things every day to make a big difference down the road.
And in the last few weeks, we've seen a whole new thing pop up. So what was your reaction to the George Floyd incident and then the resulting protest that came about from that?
Yeah, it was horrific to watch that. That was something that was very difficult to watch. I couldn't watch the entire time through. It had not been something I'd really seen before, and we are in a time where everything can be captured on video, and to see a life be taken was horrific. There's no other word for that.
What one or two words describe how you feel about the next 5 years?
Hopeful. Like anything in life, if you have hope, life is pretty good. And I try to have that outlook where, I hope for this pandemic to pass, the social problems that are going on. I hope we can all do things to make everyone's lives better and to make everyone do what we can to have everyone have hope. Because when you have hope as a society, everyone seems to tick better. And it's when that hope and that need for life is taken away that individuals act out in ways to where, if there's nothing to look forward to, people aren't happy and they have no motivation to do good. And I think with hope, all things can change.
So is there a question I should have asked you that I haven't?
No, you've asked all the things that, have gone along with this. And we don't have answers. All we can do is the little things that we think might help. But if this, pandemic has taught us anything, even the world's best doctors don't know. There's no guarantees in this life. We have to treat others with respect. And I think with that, change will start to happen.
And for those people who watch this, do you have any message that you want to share with those folks?
Hold family members close. Hold those that you care about close. Enjoy every second of every day. I'm trying to do that with myself and my family because a lot of people have had that taken away quick. And it's a sad situation, and do all that we can to make our lives and the lives around us better each and every day.
All right.